Hello, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday with 3W. Wellness Wednesday is sponsored by 3W Medical for Women, a nonprofit medical clinic offering free of charge or low-cost reproductive health services to women in the Seattle area, regardless of income or insurance status. 3W does not profit off of the reproductive health choices women make. The information shared in this podcast is the opinion of the speaker or speakers. Medical information is not intended as individual medical consultation, but for general education only. Always consult your own health professional for personalized advice regarding medical decisions. And if you're in the Seattle area, consider making an appointment to consult with us. I'm Helen Nguyen, CEO and co-founder of 3W Medical for Women and the host of today's podcast. Welcome, Wellness Wednesday listeners. This is yours truly, the host, Helen Nguyen, CEO of 3W Medical for Women. Today, we have our lovely operational manager, Lauren.
Hi, guys.
We love to talk about these new trendy things because guess what? I'm in my mid-30s and I don't know. And Lauren is still in her 20s. She's still vibrant, up with the kids.
You're still vibrant.
I am. Inside, I identify as 25. But today, so the girls in the clinic have been talking about this topic, and I was like, okay, we need to record a podcast about that because, first of all, it educates me about the new youth lingo, but also these are some manipulative tactics that are happening in young relationships these days. I guess they can happen in any relationship, actually.
Right. But maybe the term is
like
a new thing.
Yeah. Right. So I heard about this term called love bombing. Yeah, Lauren, I feel like you're very up to date.
Right.
On love bombing.
Yeah, I know about love bombing. I feel like it's a new not new, I guess a new definition of something that probably has been happening in relationships for a long time.
Yes.
And when I was thinking about it, it's, a manipulative tactic, but it's not, and it's an abusive tactic in relationships, but a lot less apparent or out there. And I think it's harder for, let's generalize, women might have a hard time identifying in their relationships because if you're getting hit or you're getting screamed at and being called names, that's obviously physical abuse, verbal abuse, domestic violence.
Yes.
But if it's these kind of love but over love type of things, that can be confusing. So do we want to define what love bombing is for our people?
Yes. Well, Alejandra, our marketing person, sent me this article and I read up on all of it. And it's an article called 8 Signs Your Relationship is Really Just a String of Manipulative Love Bombs.
Yeah.
So there are 8 signs, and I wanted to read like the 8 signs, and then Lauren and I are going to talk about it.
Right.
These are the 8 signs. But how would you define it, Lauren?
I would say love bombing is someone giving a lot of attention, gifts, isolation sometimes, where they just are like, I love you so much. I want you so bad. But in doing that, it's hiding, it's manipulating them to see, I love you so much. Why would you get mad at me? Why would you criticize our relationship? Why would I think critically if all the things I'm doing are so good?
Yeah.
And so it can isolate people. It can guilt you into feeling certain ways. Like, well, I did all that for you. Why would you, you don't think I love you? And that's gaslighting, So I think it really alters the relationship's dynamic because it's a power trip. It's I have the power because I've shown you all this love and you need to do what I say, or I'm going to guilt you because I did everything for you.
Right.
So it's just, I think it's an abuse of power. I think girls can do it too, but I think a lot of men do this to control the relationships. And if they have the means necessary, if they have the money, the time, the energy to do so, they can get what they want.
Right.
Which is a problem.
Yeah. So this type of abuse is hard to pinpoint sometimes because it's mental abuse. Right. It's psychological. It's playing on your emotions and it's manipulative. It's guilt. But okay. So going back to the article, the 8 signs your relationship is just a string of love bombs. The number one thing they talk about was your partner makes you believe you could do better. And it's like
it's using this like tactic to say, oh, you did such a great job, but let me help you make that better.
Yeah. That they're the kind of superhero
Yeah,
in
the savior.
In the savior. Be like, you did that great promotion at work. If I were to help you, you could be even bigger, or you could even get a better job. But that's going to be through me. It's not going to be on your own fruition.
Yes. So it's like codependent.
Yes. Because it's making them reliant on you.
Yes.
Making the woman reliant on her.
Yeah. And so this article says like from the specialist, it says their romance is based on making themselves the hero of every page of their fairy tale that they're trying to create.
I really like that.
How creepy is that?
But it's true. I mean, I can totally picture it. And I've had friends, I feel like, in this situation of just the guy that can do it all, the guy that just overpromises and a lot of times underdelivers, kind of all talk of like, look at all I can provide for you. Look at all I can do for you. I think I've had friends who had boyfriends that want them to move, across the country or to a different state and be like, well, I can get you this amazing job. And like, it's through me.
Yeah.
And then they can't leave because the job's through them. The friends are through them.
Yeah.
And everything goes through this person who's made like the savior to them.
Yeah. Super toxic. Okay. The second thing this article talks about is they say what you want to hear.
Right.
Oh, so disingenuous.
Yeah. Goes back to just, they're not going to give you, kind of on the other end, they're not going to give you constructive criticism. They're just going to be like, everything you do is amazing.
Yeah. Perfect.
And you can do no wrong. But I think that also sets them up to then criticize later. Once they get your kind of love and control, it's like, you're doing all of this wrong, and it's like, why did you just bait and switch me? Of like, you're saying I'm hearing one thing and now I'm hearing another thing.
So they build you up so they can break you down.
Exactly. Yeah.
Terrible. Okay, the next thing they talked about was you receive expensive gifts and know how much they cost.
Yeah, I've had people I know that do this as well, of like buys them a gift and then through the giving of the gift,
they leave like the price tag on or something.
Or it's like they say it of like, if let's say a fight happens after, of like, you don't think I love you? I just bought you a $2,000 purse.
Yeah.
Or, they're putting that monetary value on your relationship, on their love.
That is so, as someone that is like, the 5 love languages, and that's a totally another podcast that we can talk about. But someone that loves to give gifts, like I do not think about, I just got you something. And
because it's coming from a place of
actual love.
Yeah, actual love and not a, wanting to get something back.
Yeah.
When these people are love bombing, they're wanting something in return.
Yeah, it's like their card that they play when a situation arises, and then they can play that card. Yeah, like, look how much I loved you. I spent so much money on you.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this person. Whoever we're going through this, and I was like, oh,
are you picturing someone?
Yeah, picturing someone. I was like, I hate you. Okay, but we don't hate. Okay,
we love.
Okay, yeah, we love.
Not love bomb.
Not love bomb though. Okay. The next one is compliments are on no short supply.
Yeah.
Gosh. They would get I'm such a terrible compliment person. They would know exactly that I would not be a good love bomber.
No, I think Helen set up some quality control that she will not get love bombed because you try to compliment her and she's like, okay, whatever.
I'm terrible at receiving and giving.
I would fall to this because I love getting complimented.
And it's so natural. But it comes from such a genuine place when you do it.
Totally. Sometimes I think this is my husband and I have a really honest relationship. And my mom for my whole life just always said, Lauren, people aren't going to read your mind. So you need to tell people what you need.
Yeah.
Literally in my wedding, my pastor was marrying us and was like, I love what Tammy said. Lauren always knows how to tell people what she needs and ask for tells people how she feels and asks for what she needs.
Yeah.
So with my husband, when he's not complimenting me, I will literally, and if I ask for it, I still get fulfilled by it. Don't know why.
Yeah.
But I literally will be like, hey, I did this. Like, I'd love some recognition.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, I'm like, don't I look cute today? And then he'll be like, yeah, you look really cute. And I'm like, okay, bye. So I feel like if I had someone complimenting left, right, and center, I might fall into that. Like, I could totally see myself being like, wow, I just like, that feels so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think what the listener needs to think is like, is that genuine?
Yes.
Because I think there's a genuine compliment and there's people who just want to fish for your love.
Yes.
Like I had someone at work once, he was just like kind of a manipulative person. He just wanted like produce good employees. And so he would always be like, you're doing such a great job. And I'd be like, if you tell me that every single day, it's not genuine anymore.
Yeah.
So I think thinking critically about your relationship, is it just always to get you to produce a certain type of behavior? Like, are they complimenting you because they really do love you and want to show you that love and that's your love language, like it's mine? Or are they doing that to get you to respond a certain way, change your behavior, keep your behavior? Like, I love how much you clean the house and do the dishes. Like, I would never be able to live without you. And then constantly says that. And then they're like, well, if I don't do that, they're not going to love me.
Yeah. That would not work on me.
Yeah, no.
I would be like, and the next time we need to hire someone to clean the same time as me because I ain't doing it
You can compliment them.
I do not need that. But yeah, this section, it's like you start to become molded into what they want and what they need.
Exactly.
That's
like
why they compliment you.
Yeah, they're trying to tell you like, this is what I want. And I think our emotional response is like, okay, well, that feels good. I'm going to keep doing that.
Yeah.
So it is like a kind of a good tactic, but I think being aware of someone being genuine, you have to really use your gut of like, is this genuine or is this someone who's trying to play me like a fiddle?
Yeah, yeah. As women, that's such a good analogy. As women, I think we have such a good, internal, intuitive, clock, feeling that tells us this doesn't feel right.
Yeah, listen to that.
You really need to hone in on that.
Yeah, and I don't think always when we have that, it's not like, okay, I need to break up with him right now, but maybe talk to somebody in your trusted life and be like, hey, when you're around this person, my boyfriend or my fiance or whatever, do you ever feel like he's being just genuine or like talking to someone else about that? Because sometimes you do need an outsider's perspective, especially when you're in the dating
puppy love stage.
Yeah, like just dating and not married yet. I think a lot of I talk to married friends, they're like, well, I don't want to talk about my marital problems to my friends because I don't want to like make them think, disrespect my marriage. I think I hear that sometimes.
Oh gosh.
Of like people like, oh, you're going to think about my husband a certain way. So people like, I've had friends who don't tell me, which I don't even think they need to tell me, but don't tell anyone that they're having issues because it's like, well, I'm trying to respect our like relationship. But when you are dating someone and courting someone, and I don't always think that's great, but especially when you're dating, you're in the courtship process before you get married, before you're going to, pledge your love to someone. How about we talk to someone else and be like, hey, I'm having these feelings.
Yeah.
And
am I way off?
Am I way off? Yeah. Is this something you see? And if everyone in your life is telling you, hey, this guy isn't good.
Yes.
That is a red flag.
Yes, exactly.
If 99% of the people are telling you, hey, this seems weird.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yes.
And not always, we understand there's toxic family, there's toxic friends sometimes, but I think 9 times out of 10, there's some weight to that.
Well, and it's people who've especially people who've known you all your life or friends that have never said things like that before.
Yeah.
It's definitely a red flag.
Especially when they have to they know that it's going to be awkward. I would be like, I don't want to ruin our friendship, but this, I can't let you do this. Listen to that. It's hard. It'd be hard for someone. Like if I had to go to my friend and be like, I hate your boyfriend. I think he's terrible for you. That would make me so uncomfortable because I don't want to lose you as a friend.
Right.
So if someone's going to that that they've had to think through that and they are risking your relationship for your happiness. And that's really sweet. And we should respect that.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that you need to get super offensive and completely cut that person off.
Yeah.
It's just take it into consideration and appreciate that person.
And then it's going to be your decision.
Yeah.
Use your intuition with other people's, perspectives as well and make the best decision for yourself.
It's not good to just be
in a bubble.
Yeah. Or look inward and your relationship is so special and no one understands.
Yeah.
You get into that mentality, it's a slippery slope.
It really is. I've had people, it's maybe they're married now and they're like, oh, he does this. It's so funny. And I'm thinking, that's not funny. Yeah. You're laughing at it because you're trying to justify it. But really that is a dynamic you've set up because you've let it happen.
Right.
That you might want to think more critically on. That is that how you should be treated. Because it's not always funny. Yeah. It can be oh yeah, your husband does that, haha. But a lot of times it's I think we need to think critically about that and not saying divorce him right now, but let's talk about that dynamic and work through that. Yeah. Just because you've gotten married and everything's good doesn't mean you can't start working on things or you're in a long-term relationship. I dated my now husband for 7 years. Yeah. We dated really young. So we constantly had to reevaluate dynamics, reevaluate how we were feeling. Just because you're together for a long time doesn't mean you can't grow or let behaviors just sit there and not address and change. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. The next thing is PDA. Too much, in fact. Oh,
yeah.
I am not a PDA person, so I have no idea what this.
I get very uncomfortable with PDA.
It does make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I barely hold my husband's hands. I think I'm on the extreme end of things. Yeah. I don't need that much physical touch. I don't need that much.
She just needs gifts.
I do. And not in like, and I don't even need some like, I don't even like purses. Just give me a spa day. That would be fantastic. Like, leave me alone.
Steve, if you're watching this, listen to this.
He knows. We've been together for what, 9 years now? Oh my gosh. But yeah, so this section, it talks about like touching you, using warm body language in front of loved ones, and posting romantic leaning posts on Instagram.
Okay, I have a really
social media.
I have a hot take, Helen. Okay. Hot take. Well, it's probably not that hot of a take.
Okay.
But I have a thing about social media and people posting these lovey-dovey things. It is so overcompensating. I swear, every time I see someone post like, my lovey-dove, oh, he's so perfect. Yeah. I'm thinking like, you are insecure about your relationship. Yeah. Somebody's having issues and you're trying to overcompensate. Yeah. I can't. I actually can't. It makes me crazy. It makes me crazy. Funny. It makes me crazy. The PDA of it all and the social media, I think that is such a big thing of like just showing these extravagant posts of like, wow, he loves me so much.
Well, I think that's fueled by like celebrity Instagrams, right?
Oh, yeah.
I automatically think of it, and they're like in the news in social media right now of like Courtney and Travis.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay,
their PDA
can you
is a lot.
Just like your kids, your poor kids.
Yeah. My parents love a good PDA, and coming from a child, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like
it's a little traumatizing.
It is like I think physical intimacy, kissing, hugging, that can release oxytocin and serotonin and make you happy. But do we need to do it in front of everyone?
We don't need a full makeout section. A little peck on the cheek,
Bye, honey.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
You don't need to be full on.
And I think that can sometimes make people uncomfortable. So if you're in that situation with someone and you feel like they're always like putting their arms around you and being really touchy in front of family especially, or like friends, listen to that and be like, okay, with the other things, this is seeming a little love bomby.
Yeah.
And I want to address this.
Yeah. I feel like it's a power move.
Oh, yeah. It's like, she's mine.
Yeah.
It's like,
I can do this to her and she can't say anything.
Yeah. And especially in front of people. It's not like you can like set like physical boundaries is very important, especially, I mean, even in relationships, you need to be comfortable with what's going on. Just because you've consented to being in a relationship doesn't mean you've consented to having sex with them in your date, especially in dating and all the early parts of a relationship. And when you're in front of people, you can't just be like, I'm not consenting. That's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can try to like I can tell when people are uncomfortable, they'll like,
pinch.
Drop the hand, lean the other way,
kick the foot.
Yeah, but it's like you can't be like in front of your family. Hello, sir, please stop touching me and grabbing my butt. Like, it's hard to say that in front of people. Doing that in front of people gives that power again.
Right.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, though, it comes to a point where you feel unsafe and so uncomfortable. I would say speak up, because your family.
I agree.
I know the men in my family would be like, excuse me?
Yeah. Oh gosh, my uncles, they'd be crazy.
Would escort you out?
Yeah. But no, it's true. I think sometimes we want to follow like social cues, but if you're uncomfortable, you gotta say something.
Yeah. All right. The next thing. Next thing is a new buzzword, gaslighting. Your partner make you believe you did something wrong when you haven't. Gaslighting.
Yeah.
Plays into a narcissistic kind of personality. And they use these tactics to make you feel guilty and confused.
Yeah.
No one wants to feel guilty and confused.
Well, I think going back to what we've talked about earlier, they do all these things for you. And then let's say you set a boundary of like, I need some alone time, or I want to go see some friends, because a big thing that love bombing people do is they isolate you from others. So if you are getting isolated and then you say like, okay, well, I'd love to like spend some time with my family, and then they gaslight you into thinking that's wrong. Everything I've done for you, Helen, you're not going to spend time with me on our day off. You're going to see your parents. Like, listen, like you have to think critically of what they're actually saying.
Right.
And the thing with narcissistic people, sometimes they're not, you can't even make ground with them.
Right.
Like, it's just going to be conflict. They're so fully convinced that they are right. So those conversations might be difficult, but stand your ground. Don't them take over
Yes.
and dominate the conversation.
Yeah. Well, just that example you gave, I'm going to go see my parents. Going to see your parents is a good thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Going to see your family, having time with your friends.
Yeah.
Those are healthy.
Right.
Someone should not be your whole world. Just because they're your like partner does not mean they meet every one of your needs. Like
you're not perfect. You're not expecting the other person to be perfect. And you need to be able to fill your cup with other people in your life.
Like my friend Ashley fills a cup that Josh does not fill.
Yes.
My
it's
friend
a cup that Ashley fills.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because there is different relationships that fill different things. My mom and I have a very different relationship than Josh and I. Yeah. And it's a special relationship. And your partner should not cut you out of different relationships. That's a love bombing technique because it's like, hey, I've done all these things for you. I've bought you all these gifts. I've put you first in all of my life. Why are you not going to do the same?
Exactly.
But you can still put someone first and in priority or in whatever and still have different other relationships. It's not a one relationship life. We are not, supposed to live life with one person. It's a community. We're supposed to live life in community and have people around us.
Right. Okay, next one is you're expected to supply the affection they want.
That makes sense. I think that kind of goes into love languages in an extreme of like, I want to feel love a certain way and you better do it or things are not going to be good. You know, like I want to feel love this way and not in a way of like a healthy way. Like, hey, this is how I feel the most supported, but in a controlling way.
Yeah. This section talks about like, they expect you to always sit next to them, touch them, see them when they want, even if it's an inconvenience to you. Yeah. And the minute you don't reply to a text message, it's like, a gazillion text messages. Like, why aren't you answering? Yeah. Why didn't you check in on me? Yeah. You don't really love me because if you did, you would have thought of me and texted me right away.
That's like, such a thing. That's a very thing in the younger generation too.
Oh my gosh, it's exhausting.
No, yeah. I think there needs to be security in relationships, especially when you're, if they're always, giving you all this love and then the second you're not with them or you're, let's say like out with friends and they're thinking like, oh, you are going to cheat on me or you're going to do these things when you've never had any sort of distrust before, but because you're not replying, they're jumping to these insane conclusions. That again is gaslighting of like, from one side, they're like, I love you so much, you're perfect. And then the second you do anything out of what they think, how would you do this? Why would you do this to me? I've done everything for you. Not good. We don't want that.
And then the last thing, that walking on eggshells feeling is common.
Right. That's
walking on eggshells is terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. And you should never feel that way. You should never feel that you aren't able to be honest with someone you're in a relationship with. Totally. You shouldn't feel that every time they're around you, you just get anxious and nervous about doing something wrong or like you're not fulfilling their needs. You should feel very secure in a mature relationship, healthy relationship.
Yes. There should not be of like, oh gosh, if I do something wrong, that they're going to snap at me. Choosing to be with someone, being your boyfriend or girlfriend. Yes. Part should be, you love them so much, but another part should be like, you just enjoy being with them. If you're going to spend every day for the rest of your life with this person, there should be a way you can live your life. And it's like, you work, like there's a dynamic at play that's not super difficult. And so if you're always having to change your behaviors to meet their needs, that is not a healthy relationship. If you're walking eggshells like, okay, if I say this, they're going to like lose their mind on me. If I don't do this, they're not going to give me the attention I want. Yeah. Those things are red flags. I think what the big love bombing comes down to is some of love, if it can feel good, it can feel...
Yes.
I think
it feels too good,
but it feels too good. And then I think the extremes of like, it feels so good and then they take it all away and then I have nothing. And I think that is a tactic that abusive people use of like, I'm going to fill your cup up and make you feel so loved and taken care of. Yeah. Then I'm going to drain you because then you need me.
Yeah. Dependency.
Yeah. You're
power dependency.
Getting that power and dependency. And you're saying, you can't live without me because I do all these things for you and then I'm going to take it away. And that's not healthy.
No.
Please be aware of that. We don't want you to live a life that's not beautiful and lovely and someone who loves you so much but doesn't love you too much.
Yeah. Love should be without strings.
There we go. Quote Helen Wynn. I'm sure someone said that before, but we're going to quote you.
I don't know. I'm going to take it. TM. Trademarked it. Because I said it.
Love, it's given selflessly.
Yes.
When you love someone and you do things for people, there should not be with strings attached and expectations attached. And I think we're all fault at some way of doing things. But at the end, at core love and relationships should be given freely.
Yes.
We should not be giving love to then receive something in return.
Yeah.
And that's like the truest form.
And to quote Will Smith, who had his whole fiasco recently, who said, love makes you do crazy things. It doesn't.
Right.
Crazy things don't mean hitting people.
Crazy things
don't mean making them feel guilty.
No.
It doesn't
Abuse.
It does not fall under love bombing.
No. We don't want that.
No. Don't pull a Will.
Do not pull a Will.
Do not pull a Will. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this episode.
This was very fun.
Love it when Lauren is with me and going over these new youthful lingos that I just don't know. And then
now you know.
Now I know. And now you know. And if you ever have any questions or if you feel unsafe, uncomfortable, following that gut feeling of like something's not right, come in, talk to one of us or talk to one of our medical providers. And sometimes just getting a complete stranger's perspective on something you're feeling intuitively about might shed some light on a relationship you're not supposed to be in.
Yeah. Remember, 3W cares for mind, body, soul.
Yeah. We love
emotional health.
We care for you and love for you without strings.
That's
why we don't charge you with anything.
There you go.
Thank you so much for tuning in and looking forward to another podcast episode with Lauren soon. Thank you.
For more information about 3W, please visit our website at 3wmedical.org. That's the number 3, the letter W, medical.org. From there, you can learn more information about the services we provide, book an appointment, or make a donation if you'd like to support our mission. You can also call our office at 206-588-0311. That's 206-588-0311. If you like this episode, please share it with others and consider subscribing on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, stay healthy and be well.